Starting off with number 10, getting the press on her side. The new Queen of England appears to have made a conscious effort to woo the very press that had made her life hell for over a decade. According to royal biographer Juror, she was seen out and about with Charles as soon as she got married, and when people met her, they were surprised by how warm, friendly, and funny she was. She impressed them. On top of that, she was agreeable to the press and accommodating to the paparazzi. They composed cordial things about her and distributed pretty good pictures, and slowly the general visibility of her changed. The simple, cherishing connection among Camilla and Charles was likewise obvious during their public appearances, a long ways from Charles and Diana's stressed last trips. It is thought that Camilla has transformed Charles, allowing him to be more joyful with her than ever. Number 9, coronation. Queen Camilla solidified her inheritance inside the English royal family when she was crowned alongside King Charles. Although they've been married since 2005, their love story is not exactly a royal fairy tale like those that have been romanticized throughout history. Instead, it has been characterized by a complicated past that began long before Camilla and the new king exchanged wedding vows. The relationship seems to be one of English history's most convoluted and frightening romantic tales, brimming with embarrassment, treachery, and every conceivable kind of unexpected development that at last shook the royal family to its actual core. Christopher Anderson, creator of The Ruler, The Life of Charles III, USA Today reported, Camilla's relationship with Charles as the celebrated justification for his separation from Diana took the imperial vote, and she long battled with public acknowledgement. Number 8, control. Diana claimed that Camilla was trying to control Harry and William's lives, taking them on international trips and cutting off their contact with the palace. Diana also accused Camilla of causing a rift between the brothers and said that they had been hurt by her behavior. She believed that Camilla was manipulating Charles to further her own agenda and warned him not to trust her. Diana's comments caused a storm in the media, with many people questioning Camilla's influence over the royal family. In response, Camilla denied all accusations and claimed she was only interested in helping Harry and William succeed in their roles as future kings. She defended herself against any rumors of manipulation or control, saying, "I have always respected them both." Prince Charles also spoke out on the issue, stating that he had full confidence in Camilla's ability to help guide his sons. He went on to say that she was a true asset and had his utmost respect, making it clear he would not be taking Diana's advice on this matter. Number 7, unfit for the King of England. Charles and Camilla first met in the 70s, and the then prince fell in love right away after they were introduced by friends. Penny Juror, the royal biographer, wrote in Duchess, the Duchess was not in any way overawed by him, not fawning or sycophantic. Even though they shared a strong bond, Camilla accepted the proposal from Andrew after the prince was sent off with the Royal Navy in '73. Even if things had turned out well for the two of them, the palace didn't think Camilla would make a good fit for the king, because she didn't come from an aristocratic family, which was very important back then. Number 6, notorious mistress. Diana and Charles brought in Prince William in '82 and Harry in '84, but by '86 Charles had revived his relationship with Camilla. According to Morton and Camilla's biographer Penny Juror, who described Camilla as the most notorious mistress in the world, both Diana and Andrew Parker were aware of the affair. In '86, Diana also started a series of affairs, one of which was with cavalry officer James Hewitt. During a 1995 interview, Diana confessed that Diana confessed to the issue, saying she revered and was enamored with Hewitt, as indicated by Town and Nation magazine. But the relationship ended around 1991. The public perception of Camilla was incredibly negative following Charles and Diana's divorce. Even before the royal divorce, questions lingered about Charles's future relationships, as the Church of England did not permit divorced people to remarry so long as their previous spouse was still living. Camilla was also not a suitable candidate due to her divorce. Reporters who covered the royals at the time speculated whether Charles will inflict Camilla on the country as queen, calling it an unwelcome prospect. Number 5, phone call transcripts. In the wake of the separation announcement of Diana and Charles, multiple media outlets published the Tampon Gate tape transcript. Some outlets referred to the tape as Camilla Gate in reference to Charles's mistress. Others speculated whether the tape would prevent Charles from someday ascending to the throne. Obviously it didn't, because he is king now. The public was so interested that people could call a phone number to listen to the tape of the actual phone call. Dominic West, who played Prince Charles in season 5 of The Crown, told Entertainment Weekly. A full transcript of the call depicts Charles and Camilla playing the age-old lovers game of refusing to hang up the phone on one another at the end of the call. Number 4, the royal family versus Camilla. Even though Charles and Camilla's relationship was very serious, Camilla was viewed negatively by the royals, but Diana was received with open arms. Beadle Smith claims that Charles always treated Camilla, who was Charles's age, as an equal rather than an idol from the beginning. However, Camilla was not wanted by the royal family as its princess. She was a no-go for the royal family when it came to finding Charles a wife. It is no secret or surprise that Diana's 2 sons never truly accepted Camilla once Charles brought her into the family, and although William might be less vocal about his opinion on her, especially as a future king, Prince Harry never held back his feelings about the Queen. Harry explained that after marrying Prince Charles in 2005, Camilla sought a revamp and was dubbed the villain by the British press because of the connections she was making within the British press that made her dangerous. Number 3, monarchy's secret weapon. Camilla has also proved herself to be a very hard worker and a secret weapon for a monarchy low on top-tier royals available for public service. She is now the patron of more than 90 charities and has a camaraderie with the public few other royals can claim. She's very chatty with the public and makes them feel instantly at ease, often making a joke or making them feel relatable to her. She is also willing to get her hands dirty. In November 2021, Catherine Johnstone, commander of the Order of the British Empire and chief executive of Royal Voluntary Services, told Hello about a time Camilla was serving meals at one of its lunch diners and immediately started cutting up a meal without hesitation for one of the older diners who had sight issues. I'm not gonna lie, that actually does sound pretty nice of her. Maybe she is gonna be a good Queen of England? I don't know. Thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Camilla's choice of patronages has also shown her not to be the blithe country gal she often seemed to be. She has highlighted the often taboo subjects of domestic violence and assault. Number 2, drinking problem. Charles is said to be on high alert regarding Camilla's drinking issues, which have gotten him into a lot of trouble. Charles had already persuaded his mother not to push him aside in favor of his son William and Kate, and began by describing some trust issues that exist between Charles and Camilla. Camilla was not satisfied with the title of princess consort, which Charles had promised to her when they got married in 2005. She has also aspired to be queen. Her Majesty did not approve until Charles allegedly pulled out his ace card, which we still don't know what it is. Any thoughts? Let me know in the comments. This put Charles on red alert about Camilla's excessive drinking. Before coming to a conclusion, the informant also stated he knows Camilla is a loose cannon who's fallen off the wagon many times before and caused him untold embarrassment. And finally, number 1, blindsided princes. It is said that William and Harry were blindsided by their late grandmother's decision to approve of her title as queen consort. According to Christopher Anderson, a royal expert and author, the decision was driving a wedge within the royal family. Here's hoping that everyone got over it. And although it is said that William and Harry are now friends with Camilla, Prince Charles, their father, has a long history of having an affair with her in the 80s and 90s while he was still married to their mother, Princess Diana. In the end, Charles and Diana split up in '92, and Camilla and Charles tied the knot in 2005. According to Anderson, who spoke with a publication, she was begrudgingly letting him do this, and one of the key elements was he promised Camilla would never be called queen consort. Her Majesty was miserable during Charles's second marriage ceremony. He says the late queen was skeptical about Camilla when she married Charles, and the circumstances were certainly challenging. After the Queen's longtime husband and consort, Prince Philip, passed away in April, Anderson claims Charles was relentlessly pushing for Camilla to become queen consort. Number 10, the docuseries. If you haven't noticed already from our channel, I cannot talk about Meghan or Harry without bringing up the controversial docuseries that immediately made this couple 2 of the most hated royals. We have all seen or at least heard about the 6-part Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, and the tea on these two, especially Meg, is hotter than ever. The internet had been up in flames over Meghan's behavior in the docuseries, and some even felt as if it should just be titled Meghan, because of her dramatic approach to topics that some do not feel deserved a whole series, especially if they wanted a life away from the press and media. Body language experts have revealed that Meghan's behavior and actions show her as a manipulative narcissist who is using Harry's vulnerability against him and controlling him to do everything she wants. Others believe she just wanted to step away from the royals because she was unable to control the narrative of the British press. That is some drama. Number 9, not on good terms with the in-laws. When news of Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington Palace to strike out on their own first broke in November of 2018, the public and the press came to a unanimous conclusion as to why that would be. Meghan. Everyone pointed the fingers at the new royal, suggesting her alleged difficult Duchess attitude was not just reserved for the staff and had caused a feud between her and Kate. Obviously, all that turned out to be untrue, and the Sussexes were expecting a baby and wanted more space than the 2-bedroom apartment they lived in at Kensington Palace. Kate and Meghan have always had problems. It came out in November of last year that there was a ton of tension between the royals, as Kate and Meghan were not getting along. This meant that Prince Harry and Prince William were also not getting along, and the whole family was not seeing eye to eye. This was super hard on everyone, but especially the Queen. Queen Liz was actually so fed up with the drama, she made Kate and Meghan sit down and sort it out. Number 8, mistreating staff. Leading up to the Oprah interview, the Times reported accusations that Meghan mistreats her palace aides and staff prior to the 2020 exits. While Meghan denied the allegations, noting in a statement that she was saddened by the latest attack on her character, the palace revealed they were investigating the claims. Members of staff involved at the time, including those who had left the household, were invited to participate to see if lessons can be learned. The statement the palace released said that the royal household has had a dignity at work policy in place for a number of years and does not and will not tolerate bullying or harassment in the workplace. Number 7, ditching friends for royal status. Was Meg ditching her friends for royal status? A former friend and colleague who said Meghan ghosted her, Gina Nelthorpe Crown, who found the future Duchess to be hugely charismatic when they first met in 2014. Nelthorpe Crown said she last heard from Meghan when the future Duchess told her she was giving up her career and terminating their contract. Ouch. Meg felt no type of way about letting go of her former friends. It seems as if a couple of people have claimed that she cut them off as soon as she and Harry became serious. I wonder how Harry feels about this. But at the same time, if Meghan knew these people would share her business, then it would only be safer and easier for her to keep her distance from them. Clearly, they're still talking about her and airing out her past, even though she doesn't talk to them anymore. Did the Duchess make the right decision? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Number 6, short temper. Meghan and Harry's whirlwind romance has been in the spotlight pretty much since they got together. With fans and haters watching their every move, this couple is used to getting lots of attention, whether they like it or not. When Harry got with Meg, people started watching Meg like a hawk, dissecting her every move. Naturally, when you're part of the royals, people are going to be more inclined to know what you're like. As someone part of the royal family, displaying strong emotions is not necessarily expected, especially in a public setting. After being invited as a guest speaker at the Power of Women charity benefit, Meg seemed irritated after pictures of her were published where she was seen lashing out at an employee in the parking garage. The pics published in the Daily Mail show her looking pretty ticked off, pointing directly at someone. Some believe she was scolding one of her employees, while others say she was letting a parking attendant have it. I mean, as a royal, I think Meghan should have been more mindful of her position and the amount of eyes on her, but hey, there's always more to a story, right? And it's hard to figure out with pictures out of context. Number 5, the Oprah interview. After the infamous Oprah interview dropped back in 2021, the couple had been accused of prolific lying. With lies being told about racism among other things, people can't help but wonder what is the truth and what is being exaggerated. After getting an award for heroism, royal expert Angela Levine has spoken out about how they did not deserve it because of the things that were said in the interview. And if you haven't watched the interview, there have been endless criticism on many things that have happened throughout the interview, from questionable body language to overdramatic recalls of personal situations. She brought up how she hasn't gotten any help with her mental health, which many were also quick to call out by saying that was fake news. The question really is, why would Meghan lie about that? Or is it just easier to assume she's lying since they already don't like her? Let me know what you think. Number 4, mockery. Meghan mocking the royal traditions. Now, as many know, there is a scene in the series that shows Meghan doing an overly dramatic take of the royal curtsy she was to do when she met the Queen. As she is laughing it up, look over to Harry and notice his reaction. He is staring at her as if he's annoyed with her mocking something that is important to him and also part of his tradition. Interesting. Seeing as if he is uncomfy by the mockery, it's definitely not a good look for Meghan at all. Other than the mockery, there have been several instances where Meghan chose to do what she preferred rather than respecting the rules of the royal family. Meghan's critics would say it was presumptuous of her to think that the centuries-old monarchy would suddenly change up its operations because of a newcomer. Meghan was not known to be someone who was going to change herself just to please the people around her. There was a conversation where Meghan had to be reminded that she and Harry were not as high on the royal hierarchy as William and Kate, because Harry is only 5th in line to the throne, while William is literally next. Number 3, using Harry for status. Our favorite, Piers Morgan, has been one of Meghan's most outspoken critics, claiming that when she started dating Harry, she dumped him as a friend. In any case, I feel like he might have mixed up associate with companion. In any case, Piers tweeted, when Harry and Meghan parted ways in January, she used him to get to the top. People say I'm being too harsh on Meghan, however, she broke up with her parents, the majority of her old friends, the royal family, and her family. She also parted William and Harry. I'm done fighting. He also referred to them as a pair of repulsive, deluded, narcissistic tools. Following their announcement that there would be no further corroboration and zero engagement between them and the 4 UK tabloids. Morgan also forbade Harry and Markle from being discussed on Good Morning Britain, the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Express, and the Mirror. Number 2, break-in protocols. Here is an extensive list of times where Meghan simply broke royal protocols for whatever reason. She has worn dresses of shorter length than other royal members usually wear. The couple's wedding was not on a weekday, which is royal tradition. While on their South African tour, the couple made a request to only be referred to as Harry and Meghan instead of as the royal titles. The two of them are regularly seen showing PDA, such as hugging and holding hands, God forbid. She wore Dior to Archie's christening, even though the royal mother typically wears a piece by a Brit designer. The couple announced baby Archie's birth on the gram, and even though traditionally the news of a royal baby is shared on a ceremonial easel outside of Buckingham Palace, and it is highly unusual for a royal to do so, but she hasn't worn pantyhose more than once. As tiring as it was to list all of the times Meghan has done something different than what is usually part of the traditions or just unofficial rules, it makes us question Meghan's efforts to fit into the royals as she's claimed to do. In an astonishing allegation, the Queen was forced to step in and pull Meghan and Harry in line after Meghan was told she couldn't wear the original tiara she'd picked out from the Queen's collection. Meghan had her heart set on this tiara with emeralds, and Prince Harry hit the roof when they were told it was impossible for her to wear it. Apparently, there was a very heated exchange where the Queen spoke to Harry about Meghan not being able to have whatever she wants. She also had to remind him that Meghan gets a tiara given by her. The message from the Queen was very much that Meghan needed to think about how she speaks to staff members and be careful to follow family protocols. The Queen said, "Not on my watch." And finally, number 1, activism. Many people are starting to believe Meghan's actions are more performative than true advocacy. If you want to go and do something to help an underdeveloped region, is it necessary to bring cameras with you to record you doing a good deed? Meghan might be onto something, and we're starting to think the bigger picture is to show people that she is a good person who helps others while simultaneously using her status to get her way. Other times the cameras have been an issue is during the doc when the couple was called out for using a royal family approved picture of them walking about to prove a point about them being hounded by paparazzi. Starting off with number 10, isolating Meghan. An insider told us in August 2019 that Meghan feels that there is a standard set very high by Princess Kate. That the British public sees her in that light is depressing because when she lived in the UK, she was exposed to cruel British media and felt isolated. She cannot defend herself because her hands are tied. The LA native compared the stories that were written about her to those that were written about Kate when she talked about how the press treated treated her differently before Harry and her royal exit became permanent. Meghan recalled, "If members of his family say, well, this is what happened to all of us, or if they can compare my experiences to what has been shared with us, Kate was called Waity Katie waiting to marry William. While I do believe that was extremely challenging, I am unable to imagine how it felt. This is different. Racist and rude are not the same thing. In a similar vein, you have a press team that goes on record to defend you, particularly when they are aware that some things are false. We did not experience that." Number 9, private secretary. Kate Middleton, Princess of Wales, has not always had a smooth time because of the numerous critiques that have been hurled her way. Now there is another. Due to rumors that she might be extremely toxic, the Duchess has a reputation as being a very challenging employer to work for. Kate Middleton used to be a bad person since she was a kid, according to some comments Prince Harry made in his book Spare, and he even called her challenging to deal with. Even when she made bigoted remarks about him and his wife Meghan Markle, according to the Duke, she occasionally made life a little difficult for them. As new rumors about the Duchess surface, it is alleged that Kate Middleton has not changed at all, and that despite her portrayal as the people's princess, she is still a tough and toxic individual, according to her secretaries. Kate received harsh criticism on social media because 3 of her secretaries have left in the last 5 years. This supports Prince Harry's theory that she is conflicted and frequently exceeds her authority, making her a challenging boss to work for. Number 8, Fab Four split. It is no secret that the Fab Four didn't last very long. Prince William, Kate Middleton, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle were going to revolutionize the British monarchy, and when they started out, it seemed as if they were a dream team who would actually modernize the royal institution. Unfortunately, the vision failed, and with it, the family ties were broken. As far back as 2018, the Times reported that William and Harry had decided to part ways. A source told the outlet the brothers have leaned on each other and looked after each other since their mother passed away, but even their relationship had to change, and the source revealed they have become different people with different outlooks on life. Then, Megxit occurred in 2020 and things spiraled out of control. Harry and Meghan spoke to Oprah in a controversial tell-all interview where the Duchess of Sussex accused Kate of making her cry before her wedding. Apparently, Will was furious after the interview because it put his wife in a bad light. And he then became very protective over Kate per People. Will they ever be able to come together again as a family and stop airing their dirty laundry? As for Kate and Will, they have faced so many challenges together. Number 7, keeping their distance. The women stood near now Queen Camilla at the late Queen's London funeral in September 2022, but the Duchess of Sussex appeared to physically distance herself from them. Maybe she wanted to give them space or needed some time to think and reflect. I mean, it's possible that she stood back because she believes their relationship is strained. When you don't feel emotionally connected to someone, you tend to keep your distance physically. Number 6, Harry. Harry once explained how the bonds between Harry and his brother, father, and the institution itself had frayed over the decades. The eventual collapse of those relationships had not come out because of his wife Meghan Markle. It does give a full picture of the situation as we were growing up, Harry said of his memoir Spare during his interview with Cooper. It also squashes this idea that somehow my wife was the one that destroyed the relationship between the 2 brothers. It was evident from the book's early leaks that Harry was prepared to address his troubled relationship with his brother first and foremost. Whether claiming William provoked the actual battle in 2019 in which he pushed Harry to the floor and broke a dog bowl that cut his back, or naming his sibling an arch nemesis while examining their serious kin contention with both Cooper and Good Morning America's Michael Strahan. Harry likewise blamed his siblings' office for releasing negative data about him to the English sensationalist newspapers and uncovered that he had not spoken in that frame of mind while an article in the Hours of London ventured to depict Harry's journal as a character death of the Prince of Wales. However, in the past, Harry's dissatisfaction with the royal family was attributed to a different relationship, which was mentioned on social media and the front pages of British tabloids. His love affair with Meghan, the slang term for their sudden departure Megxit, suggests that the Duchess was the driving force behind their move to Montecito. Number 5, Kate versus Meghan. Meghan has borne the brunt of criticism for Harry's falling out with the family, and for a time, it was Meghan and Kate's relationship that was widely reported to be the primary source of tension between the Wales and the Sussexes. After a news report broke that the two women got into a fight over bridesmaid dresses, the narrative of a feud between them quickly took hold in the tabloids, describing them as clashing wives. By March 2019, Kensington Palace released an unprecedented statement saying that they would start monitoring and even deleting social media comments believed by many to be a response to the onslaught of vitriol on social media prompted by rumors of Kate and Meghan's falling out. Meanwhile, William and Harry's relationship, which as we know now, has rapidly deteriorated, received nowhere near the same amount of scrutiny. This isn't to say that the two women were best friends. Harry describes the British tabloid system's constant comparison of them as creating an awkward and even tense dynamic. I always hoped that the four of us would get on, but very quickly it became Meghan versus Kate, he wrote in Spare, and that, when it plays out so publicly, you can't hide from that. On to number 4, sued for topless pics. When Kate Middleton and Prince William took a summer vacation to France in 2012, a photographer snapped pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge while she was sunbathing topless. According to The Guardian, the now Wales sued Closer and French newspaper La Provence for publishing the photographs. Prince William said of the situation, "In September 2012, my wife and I thought we could go to France for a few days in a secluded villa owned by a member of my family and thus enjoy our private vacation. The clandestine way in which the photographs were taken was particularly shocking to us as it breached our privacy." The court ruled in Kate and William's favor and the couple received damages. Number 4, disagreements. Even though there have been instances of minor disagreements between the two, it is safe to say that the media is known to exaggerate the situation. The rumors seem to keep coming, maybe because people don't know how two powerful women can see each other as friends rather than foes, or because they want to show that the royal family is just as chaotic as any other family. When the two couples became one in 2017, the entire world was quick to recognize the new quartet as a royal force, but it wasn't long before stories started coming out that showed a very different picture. It wasn't clear at first why Markle wouldn't have been there, but it was later reported that she decided not to go because of a headline on the front page of The Sun that read, "In the wedding of the Rears, Meghan is competing with Pippa." Biography Finding Freedom says Meghan had carefully planned her wedding outfit to be stylish without being splashy, according to Harry and Meghan and the making of a modern royal family. However, after the headline about the women's backsides, she ultimately decided to pull out of the event. I mean, I would too. According to the book, Harry and Meghan agreed that she couldn't possibly turn up at the church. Now they had no doubt it would, the statement reads. They worried their arrival might create a media circus despite taking every precaution. Meghan and Harry weren't happy with what they saw after Netflix released the first clip from their docuseries. This was especially true because the trailer's release coincided with their first trip to the US in 8 years. The release of the Netflix trailer left Kate and William baffled, and of course the relationships are even more strained because of that. Number 2, tension. In March 2021, a source exclusively told us that the Spare author and the princess haven't spoken directly in over a year following their tell-all interview. The insider said that the women's tension was getting worse and their husbands continued to fight, despite the fact that the women reconciled following the drama surrounding their wedding, which Meghan discussed in the tell-all. Their differences prevented them from developing a full friendship. According to the insider, Kate and Meghan didn't see eye to eye when it came to day-to-day life in that palace, but they did get along in the beginning of their relationship. And finally, number 1, dress dilemma. Even though they frequently presented a united front with their royal spouses, whispers of a rivalry between the two women quickly emerged. In 2018, there were rumors that the TIG founder had a heated conversation with Kate over Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid dress before Harry and Meghan got married. The alleged incident was brought up by Meghan nearly 3 years later. In their first major televised interview since their transition from senior workers became permanent in February 2021, Meghan stated the reverse of that happened. She was upset about flower girl dresses a few days before the wedding, which made me cry. I was really hurt by it. Even though Meghan acknowledged that the damaging narrative that was being told was hard to get over, she was able to forgive Prince William's wife. At the time, Meghan recalled she was upset about something, but she owned it and she apologized. She expressed her regret by sending me flowers and a note. She also did what I would do if I knew I'd hurt someone. She took responsibility. Starting off with number 10, unconscious bias. Meghan Markle wrote to King Charles about unconscious bias in the royal family after her bombshell Oprah interview. The Duchess of Sussex's letter purportedly named the singular blame for hypothesizing about her unborn child Archie's skin tone, however, proceeded to guarantee the individual was not racist. Meghan said the remark over Archie's skin was not made with malevolence. However, according to a source who spoke with the Daily Telegraph, the Duchess will not be attending the May 6 coronation because she received an unfavorable response from the King. It is thought to have been sent in response to one from the King, who was the only high-ranking member of the family to get in touch with the Duchess after Oprah Winfrey interviewed Meghan and Harry in March 2021. Instead, Harry will be going to the May 6 celebration by himself, while Meghan looks after Prince Archie and Princess Elizabeth in Cali for Archie's 4th birthday. Even though the exchange was cordial, a royal insider said it had not eased the tension between the two sides. Relations kept on souring after the Sussexes gazed in a 6-section Netflix docuseries and the distribution of Harry's memoir, Spare. It is said that Charles, who was Prince of Wales at the time, is dissatisfied with the fact that Meghan and Harry felt the need to make such damaging allegations public. In the past, Prince Harry has spoken about unconscious bias, and in order to promote his memoir, he spoke with Tom Bradby. The moderator said, "In the Oprah interview, you blamed your relatives of bigotry." Harry answered by saying, "No, I didn't," adding, "The English press said that." Harry responded after Bradby stated that the Duchess claimed that troubling comments were made about Archie's skin color. Concern was expressed regarding his skin color. When asked if he thought that was racist, the Duke replied, "Not having been a member of that family, I wouldn't." On to number 9, protocols. Speaking of these stupid protocols, she breaks all the time apparently. According to the royal protocol, members of the royal family whose origin or status is lower are supposed to stay behind. Meghan has been ahead of Harry many times during public events, and also, even though this thing is not a big violation of the protocol, members of the family don't do that. Etiquette expert William Hanson pointed out that this is not a protocol breach and said, "Usually if you are a member of the royal family or a dignitary, you have a member of staff to open and close a car door for you, but her old habits show how shy Markle still is." Number 8, shady side. There have been a few things behind the scenes that may have made us raise our eyebrows. Whether much of these dished details pertaining to the Duchess are true, fabricated, or sensationalized, there's no denying that these shady stories certainly get people talking. In 2017, the Daily Mail pushed the limits of its Markle story quota by conducting some manner of a genealogical investigation into the alleged shared ancestry of Harry and his wife. They purportedly discovered that the two are cousins dating back to the 15th century. The connection is said to be on Markle's father's side, but is 15 generations back, so there's no need to worry about family dinners getting more awkward over the holidays. Not that it would have been the first time that someone in the royal family had married a suitor with the same genes, distant or otherwise, which has happened quite a bit within the royal family tree. Still, there's plenty of digging to be done in the present concerning the shady side of Meghan. On to number 7, pics in palace. Harry and Meghan seem to have broken royal protocol when they brought a photographer into Buckingham Palace without the Queen's permission while she was still alive. As most know, the Buckingham Palace is a big deal with strict rules that are to be followed. So naturally, seeing a picture of the couple holding hands while walking toward a door within the monarch's residence caused a stir. There is strictly no photography or filming allowed inside staterooms at the palace, and any filming or photography within the palace for commercial purposes requires permission, which was not given. Yikes, that's some drama. Harry and Meghan have reportedly also signed deals with Netflix worth over $100 million, which is causing lots of backlash. Number 6, criticism. There was a lot of criticism directed at the show Harry and Meghan when it premiered. Naturally, palace insiders were seething with rage in response to the Netflix documentary series allegations. Trolls on the internet also attacked the trailer, calling the series hypocritical. Megyn Kelly discussed her perspective on the bullying allegations in an interview with Paul Murray of Sky News Australia, and talked about how the allegations came about because Meghan, in her own words, has been abandoned by her friends and family, and her wedding was filled with celebrities and no one who actually knew or loved her. Damn, Meghan hating on Meghan? Sight to see, guys. On to number 5, political. Protocol says no politics. Weird, considering your voices are heard the most. Does this actually mean we just want to be popular and look important? but avoid giving our input on major issues because that's what I hear. William is doing bits in making a difference even from his political views, but when Meghan does it, the media goes crazy. Sounds fair. On the royal couple's website, Archewell, a picture is posted with Meghan Markle showing off her voting sticker to urge Americans to vote on midterm election day, November 2022. The royal family members are supposed to be neutral in elections, so this may be kind of shady on Meghan's part, but to be fair, she wasn't technically born in the UK and really a member of the royal family since she's not really living there and is not a working member. But then again, people are gonna do anything to hate on Meghan. Am I right? Number 4, anti-royal Meg. Experts warn Prince Harry's newly formed and deeply damaging anti-royal beliefs are being peddled by Meghan Markle. Royal author Tom Bauer made this claim while speaking to Megyn Kelly. He started by branding the American very clever and added, "Don't think for a moment that she's not convincing quite a lot of people that somehow she was thrown to the wolves." And according to him, it's completely untrue. During the course of this interview, Mr. Bauer also questioned the they in Meghan Markle's claims about being fed to the wolves and asked, who is they? Who actually threw them to the wolves? And at that point in the chat, Miss Kelly chimed in and claimed that she thinks they've already telegraphed they is the royal family. In the first 3 episodes, Harry comes out and says there's the leaking of stories, meaning by the palace, and also the planning of stories. And he's absolutely getting ready to say that the palace, staffers, courtiers, whatever, were planning negative stories on him and her. That's what I think Meghan means clearly by they threw me to the wolves or they fed me to the wolves. If we look objectively at the couple since breaking away from the royal family, who has gotten the better end of the deal? Meghan Markle is living in LA, pitching Hollywood decision makers, voicing Disney Plus documentaries, and positioning herself as a woke cultural voice. Prince Harry has given his family the cold shoulder, severing ties with his family, and has reportedly been depressed and feeling down. The high point might have been when he was filmed reading Thomas the Tank Engine. It doesn't take a genius to figure out who's benefiting. The final straw was watching Harry throw his grandmother and all she's accomplished for the Commonwealth under the bus just to provide Meghan with yet another cause to pursue. As if that wasn't bad enough, he made a complete fool of himself by showing his lack of knowledge on the matter. Number 3, wedding drama. Meghan fought with Kate while planning her wedding. It sounds crazy, but things like that can snowball if you let them, and monarchical clans aren't exactly known for letting bygones be bygones. However, a new theory claims that Meghan's clash with the royals may have begun with something even more petty. Royal biographer Lady Colin Campbell has a new release entitled Meghan and Harry: The Real Story. In the book, Campbell claims that on Meghan's wedding day, everything was hunky-dory between the bride and her new in-laws. And a few days later, however, Meghan committed some sort of colossal faux pas at a party celebrating Prince Charles's humanitarian work. "I knew the tremendous amount of hope the royal family invested in Meghan being a success," Campbell told the Daily Star in a new interview promoting her book. "Hundreds of millions of people of color were rooting for Meghan. I was rooting for Meghan." According to Campbell, the party appeared to be going smoothly until Meghan somehow astonished a guest with impeccable palace connections. And what exactly did the Duchess say or do? Well, sadly, Lady Colin is keeping quiet for now. I can't repeat it exactly, it's in the book, but what I can say is something happened at the very first garden party at Buckingham Palace. The tea just keeps getting hotter. On to number 2, she likes her fans. So shady, guys. The royals commonly keep their distance when arriving and departing events, but Meghan often hugs fans, holds conversations, and even signs autograph books. However, she does not sign her name, as it is a precaution to make sure nobody copies and forges royalties' names. And finally, number 1, baby shower. Baby showers are not standard in Britain, but Meghan planned one in the US before the birth of Archie. Some of the celebrities in attendance were Amal Clooney, Abigail Spencer, Gayle King, and possibly, but it's never been confirmed, Serena Williams and Priyanka Chopra. That is all for today. Let me know what you think about these shady moments when Meghan just shaded the royals and in particular King Charles. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this royal content and more news on your favorite celebrities. But I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.